Hi friends, it's Jasmine, your Vancouver, Washington Realtor extraordinaire. If you're thinking about buying a home here in Vancouver, Washington, don't do it alone. You can call me, email me, or fill out my quick buyer's questionnaire, link below, and I'll personally help you figure out your next steps. Okay, let's get into it. Today, I'm answering the 10 most common questions I hear from buyers in Vancouver. We're covering everything from how much you actually need for a down payment, to what competition looks like in 2025, to the neighborhoods that give you the best bang for your buck. I work with a lot of first-time buyers and folks relocating from out of state, and let me tell you, it's totally normal to feel overwhelmed at first. There's a lot of noise out there, but I promise it doesn't have to be confusing. So if you're even thinking about buying a home here, pause the Zillow scroll, grab a coffee, and let's talk through what really is going on in our market right now. Question 1. How much do I need for a down payment in Vancouver, Washington? This one comes up constantly, and I totally get why. We've all grown up hearing that you need 20% down to buy a home, and for a lot of people, that sounds completely out of reach. But here's the truth. That 20% rule is not a hard requirement. There are plenty of ways to get into a home with way less. If you're going the conventional loan route, you might only need 3 to 5% down. FHA loans let you put 3.5% down, and if you're a veteran or active duty, a VA loan can mean 0 down, which is amazing. And Washington State offers solid support for first-time home buyers. The Home Advantage program, for example, can provide down payment assistance and sometimes even lower your interest rate. There are income and credit limits to qualify, but if you're eligible, this can be a total game changer. Now, yes, putting down more can help you avoid PMI and lower your monthly payment. So if you're able to put down 10% or more, that's great. But the key is this: don't let the idea of a giant down payment stop you from exploring your options. There are ways to make home ownership happen sooner than you think. Question 2. What is the average home price in Vancouver? As of early 2025, the median home price in Vancouver is around $509,000. But here's the thing. That number is just the middle point. Some homes are way below that and others are well above it. It really depends on where you're buying and what you're looking for. In places like Orchards or parts of Northeast Vancouver, you might find 3-bedroom homes in the high 400Ks that are perfect starter homes. Meanwhile, if you're looking in the more upscale neighborhoods like Valida, Fisher's Landing, or Camas, just outside of Vancouver, prices can push well into the $600,000s to $700,000 range, especially for newer construction. Townhomes are often more affordable, with some options starting in the mid $300,000s, but they may come with HOA fees. And remember, condos can be a great way to get into the market, but not all lenders treat them the same, so financing can be a little trickier depending on the development. So while $509,000 gives us a baseline, the real key is understanding your budget and goals, and then figuring out what areas align with that. I help my clients break it all down so you're not wasting time looking at homes that don't fit. Question 3. Is Vancouver more affordable than Portland? For most people, yes. Vancouver offers a lot more value for your money compared to Portland. You're getting very similar square footage, comparable neighborhoods, and in some cases, newer homes, but at a lower price point. Another major factor: taxes. Living in Washington means no state income tax. If you're working remotely or bringing in a higher income, this can translate to thousands of dollars in savings every year. In Oregon, you're looking at 9 to 10% income tax for many people, which adds up quickly. Now, Washington does have higher sales tax, over 8%, but many locals just cross the river to shop in Portland for big ticket items. You get the best of both worlds: lower housing costs, no income tax, and access to tax-free shopping just minutes away. Beyond that, Vancouver is also seen as cleaner, quieter, and more suburban, which appeals to a lot of families and folks relocating from bigger cities. You're still close to Portland's food, culture, and airport, but you're getting a calmer, more community-focused lifestyle. Question 4. What's the first step to buying a home? Obviously, I get this one asked all the time, and it's such an important question. Before you even start touring homes or dreaming up your perfect kitchen island, the very first step is getting pre-approved with a lender. Pre-approval gives you a real, accurate picture of your buying power. It tells us what price range to look in, what kind of monthly payment you can expect, and what loan programs you qualify for. And just as important, it shows sellers you're serious. In today's market, that matters a lot. Some buyers feel nervous about this step, especially if their credit isn't perfect. But don't stress. A good lender will walk you through it, help you understand your options, and if you need time to build credit or save a little more, they'll lay out a plan for you to do that too. If you need a lender, I work with trusted professionals here in Vancouver who are amazing with first-time home buyers. They'll help you feel empowered, not overwhelmed. Once you have that pre-approval in hand, then we can start shopping for homes with confidence. Question 5. How competitive is the housing market in Vancouver? It's not quite the wild bidding wars we saw in 2021 to 2022, but make no mistake, Vancouver is still competitive, especially in certain price ranges. Homes under $600,000 that are move-in ready and well-priced, those can still go fast. We're seeing more balance overall though. Some homes are sitting longer than before, and you may have a little more room to negotiate, especially if those properties have been on the market for a few weeks. That said, if you find a home you love, you can't sit on it forever. The best homes, especially in areas like Fisher's Landing, Salmon Creek, and parts of Ridgefield, tend to move very quickly. This is why I always recommend being prepared. Having your pre-approval ready, knowing your budget, and working with an agent who understands the market makes a huge difference. I help my buyers stay a step ahead so you're ready to make a strong, informed offer when the right home comes along. Question 6. Are there any good first-time buyer programs available? Yes. And I love talking about these because they're such a hidden gem. So many first-time buyers don't realize just how many tools are available to help them get into a home sooner. The Home Advantage and House Key Opportunity programs in Washington are two of the biggest. These can offer down payment assistance, sometimes in the form of a second loan that doesn't have to be repaid until you sell or refinance. We also have options like the FHA loan, 3.5% down, USDA loans for rural areas, 0% down, and of course, VA loans if you're a veteran. Some lenders even combine local and federal options to create the best case scenario for your situation. The key here is working with a lender who's familiar with these programs and knows how to structure them properly. When we chat, I'll connect you with people who specialize in helping first-time buyers tap into every opportunity they qualify for. Question 7. What neighborhoods are best for first-time buyers? This is actually one of my favorite questions because Vancouver has such a wide variety of neighborhoods, and there really is something out there for everyone. If you're looking for value and convenience, Cascade Park, Orchards, and Hazeldale are great starting points. These areas offer a mix of older and newer homes, decent-sized lots, and quick access to I-205 and I-5. Minnehaha is another solid option. It's one of those hidden gem neighborhoods with a mix of affordability and location. If you're open to townhomes or smaller homes, you can also look at parts of East Vancouver or even Salmon Creek, which have great schools and a more suburban vibe. For buyers who want newer homes and are okay spending a little bit more, 192nd Ave, Fisher's Landing, and parts of Ridgefield and Camas have beautiful new builds with great amenities. We'll talk about your priorities, commute, school, yard size, walkability, and narrow down the areas that fit your lifestyle best. Question 8. What about property taxes? Clark County's property taxes are relatively moderate, not the lowest in the country, but definitely manageable. Most homes here are taxed at about 1% to 1.2% of their assessed value, which is slightly below the national average. So if you buy a $500,000 home, expect to pay somewhere around $5,000 to $6,000 per year in property taxes. The specific rate can vary slightly by neighborhood due to school levies, park districts, or other local measures. One thing I always remind buyers, property taxes are just one piece of the puzzle. When you combine them with the fact that Washington has no income tax, most people relocating from California, Oregon, or Hawaii end up paying less in total taxes overall. And as your realtor, I'll help you understand the tax implications of each neighborhood we look at so there are no surprises when you get your mortgage estimate. Question 9. Is it better to buy new construction or an existing home? This really comes down to your priorities because both options offer amazing benefits. New construction gives you that brand new, never lived in feel. Everything is up to date, energy efficient, and under warranty. You usually get modern layouts, quartz counters, big open kitchen, and the ability to pick finishes if you buy early enough in the build process. But with existing homes, you might get a better price per square footage, mature landscaping, and a quicker move-in timeline. You're also more likely to find character, things like vaulted ceilings, real hardwoods, or larger lots with more privacy. The trick is weighing the pros and cons. I help my clients think through things like how long they plan to stay in the home, what their timeline looks like, and whether they're comfortable with construction delays or HOA rules. We make the decision based on you, not just the house. Finally, question 10. How long does it take to close on a home? On average, most financed purchases in Vancouver take around 30 to 45 days to close from the time your offer is accepted. This gives your lender enough time to process the mortgage, order an appraisal, verify your documents, and get everything through underwriting. But keep in mind, this timeline can vary. If you're paying cash, you could close in as little as 2 weeks. If you're buying new construction that's still being built, it could take several months. During that closing period, I'm I'm your project manager, coordinating inspections, keeping tabs on deadlines, communicating with your lender, and helping you stay ahead of anything that pops up. My goal is to always keep things running smoothly and make sure you know exactly what's happening every step of the way. Buying a home, especially if it's your first time or you're relocating, can definitely feel like a lot to take in. But the truth is, when you have the right guidance, the right plan, and someone in your corner who knows the local market, the process becomes a lot more exciting and a lot less overwhelming. If you're thinking about buying a home here in Vancouver, Ridgefield, Camas, or anywhere in Southwest Washington, I would love to help. You can fill out my quick buyer and relocation questionnaire linked below. It only takes a few minutes and it helps me understand exactly what you're looking for so we can start finding homes that actually fit your life and your goals. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's the biggest question or hesitation you have about buying a home right now? Drop it in the comments below. I personally read and respond to every single one, and your questions might even inspire a future video. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone you know who might be starting their home buying journey here in the PNW. Thank you so much for spending a little time with me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!